The dust swirl, a miniature cyclone mimicking the turmoil in Silas Blackwood's gut. Walker was gone, vanished into the pre-dawn gloom after the shootout in the cellar. The rattlesnake gang, what remained of them, was scattered, licking their wounds or facing the justice of Sheriff Harding's makeshift gallows. But Walker felt different. He's been too quiet. Silas leaned against the weathered planks of the town hall, watching Sheriff Harding bark orders to a handful of nervous-looking deputies. The air still carried the tang of gunpowder and a lingering metallic scent. The ledger, retrieved from Elara's hidden laboratory, lay locked in Harding's office. Its contents, cryptic entries detailing shipments, names, and sums of money, were more disturbing than any confession. It pointed to something far larger than simple silver mining. Something involving shadowy figures Silas didn't want to contemplate too deeply, finding it hard to sleep. Blackwood, Silas turned. Mayor Harding, his face pale and drawn, stood beside him. The mayor's usual bluster was gone, replaced by a weary anxiety. "Just thinking about Walker," Silas replied, keeping his voice level. "He disappeared quick. Too quick." Harding wrung his hands. "He was a dangerous man. Good riddance, I say. Though Elara's gone too. Vanished without a trace." "She planned it," Silas said, more to himself than the mayor. "The whole thing. The claim, the gang, the ledger was all a distraction." "Distraction from what?" Harding asked, his voice barely a whisper. Silas didn't answer. He wasn't certain what the distraction was intended to cover, but he knew it wasn't about silver. It felt like a carefully orchestrated puppet show, and he was beginning to suspect he wasn't the only one who seen the strings. Days bled into weeks. Copper Canyon tried to return to a semblance of normalcy. The silver mine remained untouched, a silent testament to the chaos that had erupted. Silas resumed his duties as a ranch hand and unofficial town guardian, but his mind was never truly at ease. He checked the ledger every day, searching for a clue, a name, anything that could explain the true nature of Elara's operation. He found something. A single entry, scrawled in a different hand than Elara's, mentioned the place Shadow Creek. It wasn't marked on any map Silas had ever seen. Shadow Creek, he murmured to himself, tracing the name with his finger. Sounds like a place best left undisturbed. He spoke to old man Hemlock, a Native American elder who lived on the fringes of town. Hemlock, a repository of ancient law, listened intently to Silas's description. "Shadow Creek," Hemlock said, his voice raspy. "That place is old, very old. The people speak of it. A place where the veil between worlds is thin. A place of power, but also a place of sorrow." "Sorrow?" Silas asked. "The earth remembers. Shadow Creek remembers a great darkness. Betrayal, a pain that echoes through the ages." Hemlock paused, his gaze distant. "It is a place best avoided, Blackwood. Some doors are meant to remain closed." Silas ignored the warning. He's never been one to shy away from a challenge, especially when it came to protecting the people he sworn to guard. He saddled his horse and headed east, towards the unknown. The journey was arduous, the terrain unforgiving. After 3 days, he found it, a narrow gorge hidden deep within the mountains, shrouded in an unnatural twilight. A creek, black as ink, trickled through the heart of the gorge, disappearing into a cavernous opening. Shadow Creek. The air grew heavy, the silence profound. Silas dismounted and entered the cavern. The darkness was absolute. He lit a lantern, revealing walls lined with strange carvings, symbols he didn't recognize, depicting scenes of violence and suffering. He ventured deeper, following the creek, until it opened into a vast underground chamber. And there she was. Elara Thorne stood before a massive stone altar, bathed in the eerie glow of bioluminescent fungi. She wasn't alone. A group of figures, cloaked and hooded, chanted in a language Silas didn't understand. They were conducting a ritual, a dark ritual. "You shouldn't be here," Blackwood, Elara said, a voice calm, almost melodic. "What is this?" Silas demanded, his hand instinctively moving towards his gun. "A reclamation," Elara replied. "A restoration of what was lost." "Lost? What are you talking about?" "The slain," Elara gestured around the cavern. "It was not always Copper Canyon. It was a place of power, a nexus of ancient forces. My family, we were the guardians. We protected this place from those who would exploit it. And you think you can restore it by summoning what? Demons?" Elara smiled, a chain display of cruelty. "Not demons, Blackwood. Something far older. Something that slumbers beneath the earth waiting to be awakened." Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. The air crackled with energy. From the depths of the cavern, a monstrous form began to rise, a towering creature of shadow and stone, its eyes burning with an ancient malice. Silas knew. with a certainty that chilled him to the bone, that he stumbled upon something far bigger and more dangerous than he could have ever imagined. He was a shield, and a storm was coming. He drew his gun and fired. The bullet struck the creature, but it barely seemed to register. The monstrous being turned its gaze upon Silas. He braced himself, knowing this might be his final stand. As he fired another shot, a figure emerged from the shadows. Rhys Walker. Walker, with a twisted grin, pointed a rifle at Silas. "Looks like you walked into my trap, Blackwood." The shot rang out, not from Walker's rifle, but from behind him. A figure emerged from the shadows. Cyrus, Jed's partner. He pointed a rifle at Walker and fired. Walker collapsed to the ground. "He's betrayed." Cyrus approached Silas. He holds out his hand. "I was never in it for the silver. I was looking for someone to settle an old score." Cyrus moved quickly. He raised his hand, raised his weapon. Silas braced himself, found himself staring directly into the eyes of Jed's partner. The world went black.